Hello, everyone. We have a host of toolkit products out here, but I'm not going to start with the items that have been shipped around for review. I'm actually starting with something that I bought, and I enjoy. Sorry, there's a ton of glare. It's a very high gloss, high sheen sort of covering that we got here. But this is a 4-port charger that I bought off of Amazon. It's a toolkit, and you can see there it's the M4Q. I suppose 4 stands for the 4 ports. It comes in two different versions with XT60s or XT30s. You kind of get to pick and choose your poison there. Roller bar and a channel. And the reason why I love this, and it's great for micro batteries, you know, I've talked about this a few times of how I've been trying to expand my storage. I don't like to parallel charge. I don't like to fuss with the batteries and checking voltages and making sure that it's safe to parallel charge. So I just buy additional chargers or get additional chargers and then I use them. And I generally never charge less than 4 batteries at a time. If I'm charging less than 4 batteries, it's just not worth my time to even start charging because I probably have a couple batteries in my bag that are already charged, so I'm good to go. And I fly at least 2 packs every day if it's just in the house before bedtime. So I'm always kind of charging batteries and have to be careful when I'm making videos to have those chargers stop. But as you can see there, it does come with limitations. So if you're flying larger quads or if you're looking at fast charging big batteries, probably not the charger for you, but for micros and what I do, this is a great little charger. I believe this came in around $81. I'll correct that. If not, I bought that, I think, for $81 from Amazon. You can see right there on screen some of the quick specs about its charging capabilities. But one of the things that I like about it is with the jog wheel and the channel button, it is just so fast to get started. I am going to use the P200, which is a power source that is adjustable. You can run it from a car battery or from a wall outlet, and you can adjust the amperage and the voltage that it outputs. It also has a really high charging USB port if your phone is capable of that. My phone is super old, so I'm not going to plug it in there and end up blowing up my phone. It's a work phone anyways. Of course, on the back, we've got a switch, which I do approve of and is the one thing that's missing off of this, as well as our XT60 input if you're using it out in the field. A couple rubber feet here. I'm going to use this to power this, and I want to show you why I use this real quick. So I'll, of course, grab some micro batteries. So the P200 kind of has I almost like a safety protocol. It does have the switch on back. It's actually on the far side of this plug. Let me see. There's our switch. So I've currently got it on, and then we've got a power button right here at the front. We have to press that in order to turn it on. And you can see it boot, and then we've got a little fan. Fan isn't terrible loud. Screen's nice. Actually, I don't know if that comes from a camera great, but it's a nice crisp screen, and of course the blue, which I love. So we've got this plugged in. I'm going to turn this dial. Let's see. Let's go up to 20 volts here, just for the purposes of this video. So that's set. Now if we hit this, there we go. Now we're turning on. Oh, look at that. Oh, there we go. See, that's why I wanted to turn it up. See, the input voltage is too high. So we can't go up to 20 volts. So I've got to stop that, and I've got to crank it back down. All right, this is a little bit of a messy setup here, but just I wanted to show you everything right in kind of one setting here. So I've turned it down to 15 volts, which the MQ4 is accepted, and we've got our typical interface that we can see. Again, I don't know how well this comes through on screen, but it's very easy to read, which to me is the most important part of a screen, is make it easy to read. Of course, you press the channels to move around in the different sections, and then you also have the scroll wheel, excuse me, to see resistance and the different battery stats that you might want to see. Now, let me get those batteries that I spoke of. Can you see the screen? I know I've got a terrible glare. I'm trying to hold it between the glare there. Not a professional studio setup, just a guy in his basement. So you can see I've got, well, you can't see. I've got 2S 350 milliamp batteries plugged in. I've been flying this guy around some more and having a ripping good time. TKS 75, the 2S version. This is not available yet. We're working on, well, looking at durability. This was not what Kevin designed it for. I keep saying this in every video, but I know I'll get questions if I don't. I probably shouldn't have mentioned it, but it was designed around 1S, and so when you add the weight of 2S and some of the components, then you have to start to look at frame thickness and maybe possibly redesign. So far, I've been very, very happy with this. Loads of good fun. That's coming up on the channel when we're ready to kind of give it when Kevin is ready to give it the green light. Not my call. I'm just a flyer. So that's what I've been flying, using these batteries quite a bit. So the main thing that I like about this is that if I go into it, you know, like I said, you can go into any channel. I go into any one of these, you can see it auto detects. There aren't many options here. It's charge and storage charge. So it's simple. I like simple, but that might not fit you. You've got to set that to your own expectations. Our current charging, we're doing it at 0.7 amps, which is fine, in my opinion. But once you get started, once you have this set, you know, we have battery types. I'll show you that too. So there are all the battery types. So we go down here and we're going to go start. It's going to ask us, okay, yes, switch channel. Oh man. Start channel, start channel. That's what I like about this charger. This dial layout, which the M7 does have. We'll talk about this in here in just a minute. There's not a whole lot to cover on this one, but with the jog wheel and the button, it's super fast to get through those things. I actually, recording it was quite a bit slower than I normally am. But of course, you can see here from our charging, we've got voltage on the cells. It kind of highlights which cell it's working on. And then we've got some other measurements. We can scroll through things here on the lower right if you're following along, just those two things. Also gives us a charging time. So quick and fast. And then over here on the P200, which is pretty cool, kind of nerdy. I like looking at it. I've been using this to power this. This does come with its own power supply, but just for the purposes of being able to use this, because you know these two items were sent around to I think every channel for review. I don't have a problem with that, but I want to use them some before I, you know, bring them to the channel at least. So I've been using this to power this one for the most part. I have used this somewhat sparingly. Kind of a neat little graph. It's kind of just drawn things out there for us. You can take that in. Hopefully you can see that. Can you see that? I think I've got a heavy glare, at least through the viewfinder. See if I can make that focus. There we go. There's a little better picture on it. Sorry if that wasn't in focus. There we go. Darkened everything else so you can see that a little bit better. But this graph, when we started, kind of moved down to where it showed you the working current and wattage and everything there. So that's pretty cool because it's adjustable. I can see where some people in this hobby that might be doing a whole host of or other sort of electronic things might want something like this, but many people are using a server power supply to power their charging systems, especially those people that are flying above 4S and large packs. They need that extra wattage. This does have the limits that you see there on screen as far as the wattage goes. So you have to measure what your needs are for power versus what this can supply, because it does appear, though, you know, a power supply out of a server runs what I think I saw them for like $30, but they're not adjustable. So that's the one thing this has over it. There's some other technologies in here that should make the product a little bit better. It does have some extra features here, not just the ability to output power, but the ability to do USB and be adjustable. It has the switch on it, things that you may want. So it's pretty cool. It's a pretty nerdy thing. I like looking at it. Also gives you the temperature up there. And we're back to charging over here. I'm going to stop this and we'll take a quick peek at this. But this product is, it's kind of taken over for my micro charging needs. If it had a switch on it, I would be over the moon with it. I've got it plugged into a power strip that has a switch on each outlet. So that has kind of taken that need. But I can see where if you had one, you might want to switch on it, and that would make it a really great charger. It would probably replace my Q200, which I've been using for years. But I thought this was the thing that I was most interested in showing you today, so I wanted to bring it out first. I know it took us 10 minutes to get there, but we are there. Oh, I'll show you this as well. Like if I'm charging and I want to stop them all, it's got a stop all built right in there, which is super cool. Instead of having to click each channel and stop them like I do on some of my other chargers, just stop all. Bloop. That's a nice little feature. All right, so I've got the M7 here pulled out. Have I showed you this one, M6D? It's like the M4Q that I just showed you, but it's just dual port. It still has the jog wheel and the buttons on it. It still has USB on the back. It does accept an XT60 on the back end. and then we've got fans on both sides. So if I haven't shown you that, I apologize. This one does not have its own internal power supply, so that's a difference of this one. And the M7 here, and the difference between the M7 and the M6 is obviously that they've gone to the jog wheel and button instead of using kind of a soft touch mechanism, as well as you can see right there on the front. It's a 200 watt versus 150 watts. So they've increased that a little bit. Still charging 1 to 6S batteries on both of these. Design input, output, balance lead. We've got our servo connectors, so you can do servo or S-bus testing, and then we've got our USB port there for charging on the back, and it does have a little fan and some feet. Both are the same all the way around, so let's power this little guy up. All right, so I still got it at 15 volts. So very similar interface across all the Toolkit RC products. Hopefully that comes through on screen. And I'm just going to plug in a little battery, and you'll basically, I've kind of shown you how a Toolkit RC products already work. This just happens to be a onesie, so you can charge like one battery. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. You can have a parallel board attached to it and charge a bunch of batteries at a time, but that may not be what you want to do. I created a little wave in there so you could see that on that chart. Wanted to see how the green line moves. Sorry, I got sidetracked with that. I've been paused here on the recording for a minute. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at this. You've already seen this. Good loud beep on there, if a good loud beep is what you're looking for. This does have a few extra, or an extra mode that the M4Q that I just showed you, one of my favorite chargers. So we've got discharge and storage charge and charge. So if you go into discharge, you have additional features that you set up for your discharging. And you can see there it's on 2S. We're going to go back in, and we're going to go to the mode of charge. Hopefully you can hear me over all this beeping. You can do 2S, or you can just do auto. I generally leave these things in auto. You can see our end-in voltage there at 4.2, and charging current at 0.7 amps, which is fine. And then we just hit OK, and there we go. So it tells you charging. Nice interface. The interface is a nice upgrade over this. This looked a little bit 1990s-ish, pretty just informational, no real design flair, just kind of almost like you're reading monochrome. This is nice and easy to look at. As you can see, we can scroll through the different features here. We got measurements going across here, and it tells us the charging and what our status is. And I think I saw another blip. Yeah, another blip on this little screen. Hopefully you can see there. So RC Toolkit's got a number of different products. You can pick these things up all over the place. Again, just a little refresher. If you do micros and you don't want to do parallel boards off of all these, you want to do XT30s, and you just plug in and go. This is a really good charger. I like this charger. I would, if I didn't have all the other chargers, I'd probably buy another one of these. And yes, I did buy that. If you're looking for a lesser version, Toolkit, put a switch, please, on all your chargers that have an internal power supplies. Please put a switch on them. A little toggle right back here. I would love you for that. And then we have the M6D. I think this may have appeared on the channel before. So lots of all RC toolkits. You could probably find one for any need. I'll try to find their Amazon shop, because I know I bought this from Amazon. You can also find these products at various FPV shops. Banggood, probably at a RC shop near you. It doesn't even necessarily have to be FPV. If you do have any questions, I know this was a quick kind of overview of things. Not a lot of details. Things have gone around. But if you do have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please let me know in the comment section below. I appreciate your time. And thanks for watching.